What's going on, guys? So today I'm having a little discussion about some rocks that I found, which turned into something that was fascinating to me. May not be fascinating to you at all, but I thought I'd share my little experience with you because that's what I do here. I share my experiences, right? So let me back up a little bit. Why do I have a couple rocks? Well, the other day, it was a beautiful day. Christine and I had a couple hours together, wanted to be outside doing something. Was going to go for a hike, but there was, a little bit of rain in the forecast, so we decided instead to go eagle watching. Grabbed our cameras and went down to a famous bridge. It's the Roebling's Bridge in Lackawaxen. If you're local, maybe you know what I'm talking about, maybe not. But anyway, it's a really cool old suspension bridge, and right in that area, it's right over the Delaware River. There's a ton of spots you can go and do eagle watching, look for bald eagles. And it's kind of a bucket list item for me to take some nice pictures with Christina, doing some eagle watching. Now, of course, we had a wonderful time, but we did not see any eagles. We're going to go back around wintertime. They're a little bit more active in that area. But long story short, we were walking down, a beachy type area. It's actually like a boat launch. And I saw a couple of these rocks, and they were fascinating to me because I'm like a little kid and I just look at things like this. And I grabbed a couple to bring home because I wanted to see what it was. Originally I thought maybe it was some kind of black quartz, or maybe it was graphite or something, but I saw one that was broken open. Not this one, I broke this one open when I got home, but it was nice and shiny inside. I'm like, I gotta find out what that is. I'm kind of curious. And as it turns out, it is anthracite. This specifically is anthracite, but overall it's coal. And it makes perfect sense because Pennsylvania is the coal capital. I've known this for my whole life. My whole life, even when I lived in Jersey, I knew, Pennsylvania was the coal capital. Something like 90+% of coal, at least in the United States, possibly in the world. Not 100% on that. But yeah, most coal comes from Pennsylvania, which is really interesting. In fact, in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is a city, there's an anthracite museum, which I now want to go to. I've never had any interest in it. Coal, I'm like, okay, yeah, coal is very rich in history. The entire, local area and stuff is very rich in coal history. But I never really had a specific fascination. But after finding these rocks and, these rocks, which is lump coal, I just kind of grew my interest in it. I want to learn more, I find things like this fascinating. So now I'm going to eventually go to the Anthracite Museum. But I thought it would be kind of interesting for a video talking about it a little bit here, because maybe you guys can educate me. So when I was there, I grabbed a couple of these, and I also grabbed this because it was nice and flat and smooth. I actually thought this might have been something different. As it turns out, this is coal as well, just not anthracite. It's at an earlier state where it's a little bit softer. But yeah, so I broke one open. It was extremely brittle. It has the texture of like a lollipop or something. It really takes nothing to crack this open and shatter it and stuff. And of course, it's nice and shiny in some areas, a little dull in others. So I was able to research it real quick and very quickly found out that it was anthracite, and it was just very fascinating to me. This, like I said, is the coal at a softer state, and it's a little bit more chalky. I ended up breaking this open, so it creates a lot of dust instead of being as brittle. Also, if you clank these together, it just has a lower sound. All right, there's a much higher pitch sound because it's harder. So just, I don't know, just kind of fascinating. I thought I would share this. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are into rocks and minerals and stuff. That's its own hobby. I'm not going to start getting into rocks. I always say that. I have way too many hobbies to start new ones, and yet I still start new hobbies all the time. However, I'm not going to get into collecting rocks. I just thought this was fascinating. Like I said, just had a nice day out with the wife, doing some bird watching, and it was just nice, enjoying the weather. And I thought this was really fascinating. So it kind of just, it made me want to look into it more. There's plenty of information about, the history of coal mining here in Pennsylvania, and, all these different locations that I've been before. It's all tied together. The railroads used to take all this anthracite and, go across the entire nation and distribute it, everyone's home used to be fueled by coal. Coal is a massive industry. Of course, it's being attacked all the time, especially these days when, everyone wanted to be so green and worrying about the atmosphere and all that kind of stuff. Another reason I'm mentioning it as well is because people who have home forges to make knives, some of them use coal as well as a fuel source. It is the hottest burning fossil fuel source that there is on the planet. All right, it's very efficient in using it in forges. It's also not too expensive. It's about anywhere from $125 to $200 for a ton. Just depends on how much you're buying it. If you're buying bags of coal, it's gonna be a little more expensive than if you have a ton dropped off in your backyard. Anyway, just thought I would share my discovery. Just something I kind of knew but didn't know. You know, I always knew about the rich history in coal in Pennsylvania and the area, and all these different train tracks and different bridges and stuff, and it was all used, to transport anthracite or coal, for fuel sources all around America and all around the world for that matter. It's just pretty fascinating. So it comes to no surprise that the Delaware River is just chock full of it. So anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you have some kind of random story about coal, feel free to, comment down below. Take it easy, guys.